Hello guys, my name is Kshitij and welcome to my first tutorial of accessing MySQL databases using C API. At this stage we are going to build such applications or small programs in C language that will connect to our MySQL database and retrieve the information we have stored inside the MySQL database. So we have done already the C programs using file handling to store and retrieve the information, but we will extend this technology or the concept to the bigger end of complexity. So before you install the database server and IDs, you must know uh, the Linux operating system, how to use it. Currently I'm using Ubuntu 13.10 version for my laptop, and this tutorial is built upon Ubuntu and MySQL Server 5.x. So before we start, you must know the basic operation on the database, like create, delete, insert, update, etc. So you must practice these operations on MySQL databases. But before that, you must have all the databases and prerequisites installed on your machine. So let's see how to install MySQL server in Ubuntu. So I'm launching the terminal and typing sudo apt-get install mysql-server. Hit enter. It will ask for a password. I'm providing it. Okay. Now it shows MySQL server is already installed and its newest version. So if you don't have installed MySQL server, it will require the internet connection and it will install in few minutes depending upon your internet speed. So while installing, it will ask for you for the root user password, and you must provide them. So later on you can log in to the MySQL server using that password. So let's see, mysql minus u root minus p. Here it will ask, I have provided the password tbbjar3f. Here we go. We have now entered to the MySQL database server. So show databases. It will shows all the databases present inside the MySQL server. uh, eMarathon, OnlineDB, MySQL, Sample, etc. These are the databases currently present in my MySQL server. So if you go to the one of the database like say test, so use test database changed, show tables. Yeah. It's empty set now because there is no other any table inside the MySQL database or the test database. Okay, so you're gonna practice to how to create the databases and how to create tables, how to insert the values inside tables, how to delete from them. So I'm not gonna show you how to perform this operation inside MySQL server unless until it is necessary. So I'm gonna show you how to create the C program to access this information and to connect to the database, MySQL database, and to store the information inside MySQL database, to retrieve the information, and so on. So for that you must have GCC installed on your system. So let's check whether it is installed or not. Which GCC, sorry, I have done it wrong because I am launching this command at MySQL terminal. I'm exiting. So which GCC, again it will shows the path of GCC binary. So user bin GCC, where actual binary of GCC compiler is located. So we have installed GCC and we have installed MySQL server. So another thing that you might need is the driver for connecting the MySQL C API with the actual code. So we need sudo apt-get install lib mysql client -dev. This is the library required to connect our C code with the actual MySQL database server. If you don't have installed this library, you will not be able to connect to the server. So we must install that. So I have installed this library previously, so it will shows the message like libmysql client -dev is already installed and the newest version. So we have now all we want. So let's start to develop a code, simple code to connect to the database. So I'm going to my folder, creating a document, say connect.c. Here we go. So this is our first program, so I'm gonna just connect our C code with the MySQL database. So let's start. So first of all, we need some header files, hash include standard io.h, then hash include standard library.h, hash include mysql slash mysql.h. We have written mysql slash mysql.h because in our include folder of system user include, we found one directory called mysql, and inside that directory we found actual mysql.h. That's why we have written mysql slash mysql.h. Okay, so uh, we need some global variables to connect to the MySQL database server. So static char star host is equal to localhost. Here you can specify IP address of a machine where the actual MySQL database server is installed. Currently I am using the local machine to the connect to the database. That's why I'm writing here localhost or 127.0.1 it will do. So this is the host name where actual database is installed. Another variable static char star user, the username of the MySQL database server using which you can connect to the database server. So I am using root user account to connect to the MySQL database server. Then static char star password, the password of root user account, that is tppchar3f. This is the password we have provided while installing the MySQL database server. Then we require another static char $db name. It is the database name you want to use while creating your program. So I am using test database that we already seen. So for parameters, then again we have actually used the host name, username, password, db name, some. So unsigned int integer port number is equal to 3306. This is the port number of the MySQL database server. If you don't know which one is the port number actually the MySQL server is listening on, so just go ahead, launch the terminal and open a file vim/etc/. mysql slash my.cnf. Here we go. You can find the port number here, client and the server. The MySQL daemon, which is the main process running for MySQL server, is listening on 3306. That's why we have written the port number 3306 over here. Okay, then another variable, static char star unix socket is equal to null. This is the variable we use here to specify the connection type. We will discuss it later on in detail. So we need that variable. And last one is unsigned integer flag, which is initialized to 0 at first time. This flag specifies the connection like ODBC. So our database connectivity work or behave like the ODBC connection. That's why we use this flag. So we have all our variables initialized to proper values. So let's start the main function, integer main. So we need the first variable to connect to the MySQL server, MySQL database, that is MySQL, and we have to create one variable or connection handle for that. So connection variable we have created. This is the structure defined in the mysql.h header file, and we need a connection handle to operate that MySQL structure or the whatever methods and APIs provided inside the MySQL header files. So we need one variable to connect to the MySQL database server, that is connection con. Then first of all we need to initialize that connection. So for that we are using mysql underscore init and null. Okay, mysql init, this function initializes the MySQL structure stored inside the mysql.h, and it will prepare the structure for the connectivity to the database. So I am using this statement to just initialize the MySQL structure. Then we are actually connecting MySQL, our code, to the MySQL server. For that I am using mysql underscore real underscore connect. Okay, and we provide the variables required to connect to the database server. So connection con, then host, then user, then password, then db name, then port number of the MySQL server, then Unix socket, and last one is flag. Yeah, we have provided all necessary parameters required to connect to the database server. So these functions returns 0 if connection is successful, and it will return the non-zero value if connection is wrong or there's some kind of error occurs. So let's do something for error checking. So if not this function, if this function will not execute properly, then we print some message like standard error, printf and standard error and error colon percentage s with error number percentage d slash. Okay, this percent s stands for the actual error string, so it will be shown like mysql underscore error of con, and another, this is the error number in the database server, so mysql underscore error number of connection error. We must pass the connection handle to this function so that they can retrieve the error occurred while querying to the MySQL database server. So after printing this, we use the exit function for the database. Then if the connection is successful, then we will print the message that connection is successful. Okay, and we just quit, return exit underscore success. Yeah, so we have done with this code. uh, we have defined some variables required to connect to the MySQL database server, and we have created one connection handle to the structure MySQL defined in mysql.h. Then we initialize that structure using connection is equal to mysql underscore init function. Then we connected to the database using those parameters we have previously defined, mysql underscore real connect, connection, host, user, password, database name, port, Unix socket, and flag. If this function executes correctly or successfully, it will return to 0, and if the connection failed, then it will print this message with actual error string and error number of the MySQL database. So if our connection is successful, then it will just print the connection successful. So after that, we can use return 0 or return exit underscore success for the connection code. So let's compile this program and see what will be the output. So to compile the program, normally we use gcc minus o, then output name, then our program connect.c. But this is not gonna happen with this code because we need to link some libraries required to compile the program. If we use this command, it will display the errors like undefined refers to mysql init, mysql connect, error number, error, these functions, because required libraries are not connected. So to compile this type of programs, we use some modified command gcc minus o output, then dollar underscore mysql underscore config tag c flags, then actual program name, again dollar underscore mysql underscore config tag leaves. So if we hit enter, it will successfully compiled. If we show here, binary is created with name output as we defined here. So let's run that output. It shows the access denied for the user root at localhost using password. This is the error string and this is the error number. So we have error. Let's find out. We have printed wrong password here because the password is not tbbjr #f, it is 3f. So now it would be connected. So compile again and run. Yes, the connection is successful. Now let's do some changes in the program and see whether it is running correctly or not. I'm writing database name as test12, which is not exist. So again compile our program, run output. It will show error unknown database test12 and the error number that will print here. Okay, so make again some changes. Root 123, we have changed the user, and again compile the program. Now the error is access denied for user using password. So if you do some wrong changes inside our program, it will be shown in this error message. Everything is fine, then your program will run successfully. So this is the first tutorial to how to create the program, C program, and connect to the MySQL database server using some global variables and some basic functions of MySQL provided in mysql.h. In next tutorial I'm gonna show you how to create the database, how to use database, how to create table inside the database using C program and retrieve the information stored in it. Thanks for watching.